Hi there, welcome back. Today I'm going to be making a card as part of my Simple Sunday series. This is from a Woodware stamp. Woodware is a creative expressions line, and this is part of their Gnome series. It is Rainbow Gnome. I had a die cut that I thought was a piece of paper with a fancy scallop border, but it turns out it's actually two pieces. It's the frame and then the inside part. I went ahead and stamped up my little rainbow gnome and went ahead and found some colors. I decided that I was going to use standard primary colors for the rainbow and then predominantly use the same colors on the rest of the image. And I always use a piece of scrap paper when I'm doing alcohol marker coloring. Tends to bleed through, and you definitely don't want it on a plastic surface. My surface below is a little table that is covered in an adhesive shelf liner, so it's pretty slick. So I need that paper underneath to absorb any of the extra ink that might pool below, because what you don't want is for your ink to bleed through and end up all over the back of your paper. So that you don't have to sit and watch me color for half an hour, I sped this up a little bit. Now, this simple series is really when I find items that I like this stamp, that I really just want to kind of color in or use and not do anything too fancy. Here I am using alcohol markers, and I am layering the color a little bit on one side, but I'm not using like the three color blend or anything like that. The only way that I have any difference in the red or throughout the yellow is that I am just layering extra ink of that same color in some of those places on the left-hand side there. You can see here where I go back and add some more blue on the one side, and you can really see the difference in the color. In some of the lighter colors like the yellow and the orange, it's not as obvious. But then I do go back with some of the original colors, the red, I think, and the orange, and layer up some more color on the one side. You can kind of tell what I'm trying to do here is make it darker on the left side and have the sun coming from the right side, or the light, and keeping some areas there that look like they are reflecting sunlight. Now I am using my Everblend Ultra markers, and I'm going to link those below in case you're interested in checking them out. I got these ones when they were on sale, but even at their kind of standard retail price, I think they're a pretty good buy. I'm not too super excited about this particular paper that I'm using here. It is the Spectrum Noir paper. I prefer the Express blending card, but I also really like the Nina Exact Index, which is the like $12 a ream Nina cardstock. But what I read or heard recently was that this Spectrum Noir paper is optimized, I guess, for the Spectrum Noir markers. So I guess that kind of makes sense to me. Here I'm just using the Copic blending pen to kind of blend in those white areas so that they don't look completely white. So I give each one just a tiny bit of the color by just blending it into those areas. And here, by the magic of editing, it is all colored in. I grabbed my finishing pens. I have this little stack of pens that include a Micron pen, some ultrafine Sharpies, some gel pens that are Jelly Roll in white and in Stardust. I go back to this collection of pens when I want to add a little something but don't want to put too much dimension on a card or, not make too big of a fuss. Part of the design of these Gnome stamps is they have some dots that are representing shading. And what I've done here is I went through with the Stardust Jelly Roll pen and just applied a little bit of that color to some of those dots in each area. I didn't want to do all of them. I wanted you to be able to see that they're still there. Also, instead of covering up the grass line with the pen, I went ahead and drew a line of the Stardust ink down the side of each blade of grass. So you still see the grass, but it just accents it a little. And here I had 2 purple already made card bases, so I went ahead and grabbed the one that I thought matched the best. I am using the scrapbooks.com 1/8 of an inch foam tape, and it fit just perfectly underneath the scallop, between the scallop and the frame. And then I added on here and just kind of set this card in with just a little bit of adhesive on the back. He just kind of nestles in there a little bit. I don't always stamp a sentiment inside a card. If I would have, I may have done it directly on this purple cardstock or put a white sheet of cardstock inside for that. This stamp set and the markers are linked in the description box below, along with the foam strips. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget, safety first.